Sagittarius? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. This is going to be your October monthly tarot reading. The first half will be love, relationships, romance, things of that sort. The second half will be career and finances. I will try to remember to timestamp it right down below, so if you want to hop directly to finances, by all means. But what's up, Sagittarius? I missed you guys. I hope you're doing well. Let's get some messages for Sag while I'm shuffling up here. Love and romance for Sagittarius. As always, guys, general messages is what I do here on YouTube. That means not everything I say will resonate with every single one of you out there. I promise you that. Pieces and parts of this will very likely resonate. That's my hope. Ultimately, though, I want you to take away only the messages that speak to you, resonate with you, motivate you, inspire you, confirm something you're thinking or feeling. I come at this with love and positivity, so that is what I want you to take away. If something feels strange or foreign, if it doesn't resonate, don't take action on those messages, right? Drop it like it's hot, release those messages. Ooh, you got the whole damn deck falling out, Sag. All right, so other than that, welcome. Happy to have you guys. Happy Libra season. We're going to hop in. Everything else you need to know about this video down in the box below. The decks I'm using, my social media, how to book a personal, etc., etc. All right, let's do it. Sagittarius, so offers are coming in. Offers are coming in for marriage. Is that what this means, Sagittarius? Putting a golden ring on it and celebrating weddings and celebrations. I will do multiple messages, by the way, but I'm going to finish this one out for those who need to hear it if that's theirs. Yeah, offers of marriage, and it's a decision that's taken quite a while. Someone has been avoiding making the decision. Is this you, Sagittarius? No, or it could be your person. Maybe you guys have been talking about it for a while, and I'm not really sure who's who. I don't know if you're the one receiving the offer or giving the offer. Doesn't really matter to me as the reader. You get to pick and choose which character you want to be in this, but the outcome looks very positive. It's literally, it's on fire. It's fire, Sagittarius. You're possibly dealing with another fire sign, a Leo or an Aries. Queen of Wands could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. For a lot of you, this does feel like the recipient of it is female. So if that speaks to you, your person, same-sex couples, by all means. But yeah, it seems like it's going to the Queen of Wands. So it looks very positive. Potentially starting a family, children. This is about growth, happiness, renewal, finding reasons to celebrate, finding avenues of joy and reasons to be thankful that you're alive and living here in the 3D and like living your best life. That's sort of how I would say it. Now, for some of you, this has to do with you being on the fence. It could be that someone proposed and you are kind of like, I need to think about it, which that's a scary thing to think about, right? If whether it's you or your person, if somebody proposes marriage, or if it's not marriage, it's definitely a milestone in the relationship, taking it to the next level. So even if it's not marriage, it could be, are we not committed? What's the word? Exclusive? It could be someone's like, oh shit. But here's the thing though, even if this person is kind of in deliberation mode or not wanting to rush into making a decision, because this does seem like a pretty formal decision, I can't say I fault you or them, whoever this is, about needing to take some time to think about it, because it does seem like a big decision. That being said, this literally falls in the middle, and it's almost like the Libra season, right? Literally a Libra card, by the way, but it's like the perfect metaphor for Libra season. It's like commitment to something big, to a milestone on one side, but what you're outweighing it with, it's not this dark, grim, 10 of Swords, 5 of Cups, whatever. It's like, no, what you're outweighing, or what you're weighing it out with, I hope that's making sense the way I'm doing my little scale thing here. Yes, I'm a trained professional dancer. No, I'm just kidding. What you're weighing it out with is very positive. So again, for most of you, if this scenario makes sense, I would say that the likely decision or outcome is, yeah, let's do this. Like, look how bright and cheery and colorful these cards are. It's yellow, and it's beautiful, and it's sunlight, and it's thriving, and beautiful. That's an amazing message. So, yes, that was oddly specific. Let's do another one. But if that's your message, kick ass. Take it and run with it, especially if you're a Leo or obviously a fire sign, but if you're dealing with a Leo or another fire sign. All right, so there's also movement with a Cancer or possibly a male... Yeah, possibly a male air sign. Now, there may be a decision that needs to be made about a male air sign as well, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, so there's definitely a third party here. Let me just show you why. There's too many. We have 2 knights and a king. So again, doesn't matter your gender. None of these are really displaying as fire signs. So this would probably be a fire sign that strongly resonates with either water or air. Again, moon signs, rising signs, whatever that is for you, Sag. So here's the thing. This Knight of Cups, a water sign, it is falling next to Cancer, so it's possible that a Cancer is wanting to make an offer to you. It doesn't have to be that, though. It could indicate that there's a victory with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, potential traveling, going on a road trip, moving into a new house with a water sign, possibly. But there is like an element of like the third party here. So that doesn't necessarily indicate romantic third party. It could be that like your boss is getting in the way of you moving forward with some sort of, again, it kind of feels like I don't know if it's a milestone, but it's something pretty major in progressing the story of love. Like it doesn't feel brand new, especially with Knights and Kings. So interestingly enough, you have these two knights headed towards each other. For me, these are very strongly Piscean and Gemini energies. And then right smack in the, I am going to get to what all this means. Like I'm trying to like piece it together myself. Then right smack in the middle of this is 10 of Wands. So this is like, good Lord, this is exhausting. Can we be done with this already? Like I'm so done with it. All right, so some of you may be moving. Okay, you may be moving out of a house with your water sign, in which case it's like you're wrapping up the final details of it, like, especially if this was like a divorce or splitting up of possessions of, I'm even getting something about cars. I don't know what that is, but possibly you're ending it with a water sign, in which case once you're kind of through the, pardon the French, but like the clusterfuck of that, like, oh, can we just be done with it and put it down already? It could be that you've made a final decision to move towards an air sign, very likely a Gemini. Also major Aquarian energy, and of course it could be a Libra as well, but very strong Gemini and Aquarius energy here for me. So I know I threw a lot of things at you there. Let's throw some clarifiers on that. And then I will do one more message not related to what we've had here for love, and then we'll go into career and finances. So tell me about this. And I mean, this is like the juggler. And I do think it's of people because, again, you have two knights and a king here. So doesn't at all indicate gender, guys. I want to be clear on that. It talks about like three players, three people in the equation. As I said, it doesn't have to be third party romantically, but for some of you it might be, right? Sagittarius. Just kidding. All right, what's the deal here? Yeah, who is your wish fulfillment? Is it the one that sells wine? Is it the one who grows grapes? The one who's a wine connoisseur? That has a funny name, doesn't it? Is it sommelier? I don't know what that is. That might be you, Sagittarius. In fact, it very likely is. Some of you may want to start your own business, and if it doesn't have to do specifically with wine, it could be like bartending. Sagittarians make great bartenders. Talking to people of all walks of life, you just have that fire about you. Yeah, so if that's, and I know that's kind of a career message, but if that at all makes sense to you guys, go for it. That's showing up in the cards. Anyway, moving on. So, there's the person you're with now and the person you're looking at in the distance. So it's complicated because at one point in time, the person you are currently with, if this makes sense to you, Sagittarius, and again, this might be regarding your boss or your job. Just view it through the lens that makes sense if it does. At one point in time, they were your wish fulfillment. But you still have your sights on something else. And so here's the thing, even if it doesn't involve leaving your person, it feels like there is, I'm hearing consequence. But what I'm getting at is, what is the word? There is almost like a stipulation. There's something that needs to be discussed because as happy as you are or aren't, there's always that one thing you're like, but like I really want to pursue my love of acting. Can we move to Los Angeles? And your person's like, well, no, I don't want to. That's what I mean. There's like a fly in the ointment. I hate that expression. Ugh, it gives me the creeps. There is a compromise that you're making by staying with the person you're currently with, and you have your eyes set on something else. So here's the thing. These are general tarot readings. It's going to go different ways for some of you. What you have your sights set on, they're in the distance, in the future, whether that's career or a person, there would be reciprocity there. You would get back what you put out or what you put towards it. The thing is, though, for others of you, it's like, why are you turning your nose up at a perfectly good thing? There is wish fulfillment there, but for some of you, and this isn't for everyone, and cross-watchers, ready? Earmuffs. For some of you, the person who you thought was your wish fulfillment, it ended up being more of a, this sounds harsh, but I'm just going to say like sexual conquest, even though you didn't necessarily get into it with that mentality. That might be why you're holding on to it, is because like this literally says to me, Well, the sex is amazing. Like the Ace of Wands and the wish fulfillment card, the Nine of Cups, especially with a water sign, it's like the sex is great. Of course it is. The emotions are there, right? With your water sign, it's like they give you their all and their heart is open to you and they nurture you, Sagittarius. They're your cheerleader. They support you. They whatever it is. And yet you still have your sights set on something else. And what you have your sights set on something else, it's to rebalance the scale. It's to give you something that you're not currently getting. So I'm being called to say you get what you give. But that it's complicated though, because I understand why there's this indecision. It's like, and just to be clear, it doesn't have to be the sex is great, but there's an element of this where, gosh, it's really exciting, but, ... There's a reason why you're starting to be like, should I go this way or that way? Or for some of you, can I incorporate the two? Not if it's romantic, Sagittarius. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? I don't know why I'm wanting to read part of this for career as well, but I can just tell for some of you, that makes more sense to you. It's about a job versus a person. Anyway. So it could be that you envision going towards a Cancer or a water sign, but it's a lot of work. It's like just the thought of doing it is very labor intensive. It's exhausting. That could be a job where you're on the road all the time as well. So there's almost like an impulsivity to go after maybe an air sign, but it says to me you might not be thinking it through, because if what you enjoy about this current relationship is a lot of like, not so much lusty energy, but being, I don't know if this is good or bad, but overwhelmed with emotion and nurturing and care, maybe you feel suffocated, or maybe you've become like addicted to that, right? There's no judgment here. I'm just posing scenarios. Something about this, it's going to be much colder. It's going to be less mushy-gushy, let's talk about our feelings, and maybe that's exactly what you want, Sagittarius. But this is sort of what I'm feeling. Like, I feel like these cards are related somehow. Like, and that's sort of what I mean with the Ace of Wands. There's something to be gained here. There's something to be desired, and yet it's also equally exhausting. It's like you want the best of both worlds. Then this thing, you have your sights on the horizon. You think there's reciprocity in it, and there might just be, but I just want to say it's more severe, it's more blunt, it's more harsh, it's more cold. It's a head over heart decision where this feels like it's heart over head. And I think I'm probably just confusing you guys, like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Well, let me try and tell you, because I don't really know either. I don't see either one of these being, okay, it has to do with addiction or codependency. I just saw the Devil card, or a Capricorn, so. Some of you are going to be packing up your shit and moving. It could be across the country. It could be a long ways away. And the idea of that is very exhausting, but to me it says that it will be worth it in the end. Yeah, because you have people who love you waiting on the other end of it. Reason to celebrate, reason to rejoice, to get together with old friends, possibly old romantic partners too. Too many cards. Yeah, it would be slow to start, this thing with the air signs, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it would be slow to start, but not impossible. Knight of Pentacles is reliable. He'll get the job done, but he's not worried about speed. So that's what you need to factor into this. There's this idea of almost impulsivity of just, I'm going to rush into it because that's what I want. I've made up my mind. There's almost an inflexibility of, no, this is this and that is that and black is white and here we go. Like, this is it. I've decided. Universe is saying, it's not that easy, Sag. Like, like, take a moment to think about this, to actually think about, like, the long-term scenario. Because, yeah, I mean, Sagittarians, for better or worse, right? I love you guys, tend to live their life of, like, go big or go home. It's not that simple. You can't just chalk it up to go big or go home, because you may end up being disappointed if you don't think through all the details first. So what is the best advice and guidance I can give them? Because you clearly have, I want to say, two people or two scenarios here, and neither one of them are bad. I just have to tell you that, Sagittarius. The one card that I don't love is this, but it's surrounded by cards of victory, though, and rejoice and celebration. So it could just be that final step of needing to do one thing that you're dreading, and then once you get through it, you're like, oh, that was worth it. This is great now, right? For others of you, there's no guarantee about this. It's like there's this projection into the future of, well, I don't want to make the same mistake I made before. Well, there are no guarantees in life, right? You have to trust your gut. You have to go with your heart. And this says to me, if you really want it, if you put in the time and effort, and if you want to make it happen, you probably can. There's a very likely scenario that it works out in your favor. Six of Pentacles. Sorry for the focus. Come on, camera. Let's focus on these cards. Ugh, annoying. Whatever. Sorry. My camera's... There we go. What's up? I'm back. Okay, what's the best advice or guidance I can give Sagittarius in terms of what action they should take? For a lot of you, this does have to do with a business endeavor, too. Again, it could be wanting to chase your dream career, but you're in a relationship that isn't currently allowing it. So yeah, your ultimate decision is what's going to make you the happiest, Sagittarius. Relationships will come and go. As long as you're doing right by your own heart, you need to think about building your empire, building your future. Because ultimately, if you're with a romantic partner that doesn't support your desire to build a career or this or that, then you might not be with the right person, right? It's 50-50, right? Again, you get what you give. There needs to be reciprocity in this relationship. And for me, it feels like you're giving a lot, or you're sacrificing a lot to be with someone who I do think you have feelings for, but it's starting to dawn on you how much you're sacrificing. And ultimately, I mean, I think you need to chase that... whatever your intuition is calling you to do, I think you need to go pursue it, or else you're always going to be left wondering. And that may eventually, over time, grow into resentment of, well, my person didn't let me do this. You don't want to get to that point, right? You need to focus on building your empire and creating the best life for yourself. And like a magnet, that will attract and draw the right people for you. That's kind of the best advice I can give. All right, one more love message for Sagittarius. I hope that made sense to you guys. That one was a little bit crazy, but Sagittarius' love life. Sagittarius. One last message and we'll do career and finances. Sagittarius. All right. One last message of love. Decisions. Decisions about the unknown factor. A lot of you are really deliberating if you're ready to move in with someone, especially your Gemini. You definitely have a wild streak in you, Sagittarius. Shocker. I'm sure no one's ever told you that before. You value your freedom, especially your intellectual freedom. You don't like the idea of conformity, especially someone who tries to get you to think like them or tries to get you to think a certain way. There's an aversion to that. And something about if you move in with them, you feel like you're going to be sort of feeling like suffocated, stifled to be in the same space as this person. And so maybe this isn't romantic. Maybe this is moving in with your brother or your sister or your mother, or, you know, if you have children who are adults, maybe it's moving back in with your child. And I don't know why it's coming up, but especially political discussions, you're just like, I don't want to get into it with this person. Especially the Pisces. And it could also be someone you work with. You're being asked to really consider, if you're thinking of moving homes and moving in with like a roommate or a flatmate or whatever you want to call it, this feels like a business partner, Sagittarius, especially a Cancer. And it's, that's funny, I know a Sag and a Cancer who work together. What's up, guys, if you're watching? Probably not, but that's okay. It's like you guys are great business partners, but don't, it's almost like don't spoil the water or poison the well. What is the expression? By mixing, it's not business and pleasure, for most of you anyway, though it might be. It's like, don't shit where you eat, kind of. Sorry for the crude expression, but it's like you guys are great. Don't spoil it by living together, because it's like you guys need that kinetic spark and that magic in the workplace. And so this is tricky. If this is romantic, if it's your romantic partner that you work with, well, the message is still the same. It's like, don't shit where you eat. There could be points of contention. What is the expression? Tension? Anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. It could be emotionally and mentally stifling to live with the person that you also work with. Some of you are going to go on a road trip with your sweetheart. It could be a Virgo or a Capricorn. It could be a Cancer. Yeah, you're going to go... Something about, like, the Cape or, like, cute little, like, seaside shops. You're going to... I don't know what... I think this just feels kind of like a fun weekend together, like a little date. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, I like that. Positive direction. You're doubling down, you're doubling up, maybe you're gonna go gambling, I don't know. Oh yeah, actually that's so interesting. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is the Chariot in this. The Wheel of Fortune, some of you may go gambling, Sagittarius. You guys tend to be pretty lucky. But yeah, you're doubling down and you're doubling up. But what I meant by that is like you're taking it to the next level. Kind of like what this message is in a relationship. And yeah, that 7 of Cups of I don't know how I feel. I'm not sure how to proceed with this. In reverse, you've made up your mind, Sagittarius. So it's almost like you have like a nice little weekend getaway and something about the peace of mind this person brings you. And not only that, the fun, the laughter you guys share together, it confirms for you like, yeah, like I'm all in, like let's do this. And again, that doesn't have to mean marriage, but for a lot of you it means like, yeah, like you're my person, I love you. Like maybe that's the first time you guys say I love you or something like that. Give me some zodiac signs. It could be another Sagittarius, it could be a Libra, it could be a Virgo, it could be a Cancer. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but yeah, so the Aquarius that broke your heart, you're still holding on to a lot of mental baggage. The universe is saying it's done, it's over, you can let that go. Again, that seemed very sexually charged, and there's a part of you that still desires that, but I'm sort of getting it's not for your best and highest good. Like that person broke your heart and they didn't treat you right, so like it's a sign. What else do you want me to say? Like that's sort of what the universe is kind of relaying to me. There's always going to be something missing in that relationship because it's not equally balanced or you guys don't have the same goals or ideas. There's always going to be the missing piece to the puzzle that you're endlessly trying to solve, specifically with the Aquarius or possibly the Gemini, and it's like the missing piece of the puzzle, but it can't be found because it's like it was never created. It was never there. It may also have to do with a Scorpio. So rather than spending years of your life agonizing over why isn't this working and going to the marriage counselor and why can't we do this, it's sort of to get you to accept, and appreciate what you guys had together, if it was even worth appreciating. But ultimately, it was like a piece to the puzzle in the grander scheme of life, okay? So yeah, especially with the Aquarius, don't be afraid to let it go and to actually hold out for your long-term wish fulfillment, your dreams coming true, okay? Especially with a Cancer. All right, moving on. Career and finances, Sagittarius. Are we okay for time? Good Lord. Anyway, career and finances. Tell me about Sagittarians' career, finances, money, loans, payouts, government checks, internships, retirements, inheritance, anything that wants to come through regarding money or job. I'll do my best, Sag. I can only do what the cards show me, but we'll see. Ooh, the sworn enemy. Fighting off the sworn enemy. And do you live with them too? They might be in the, there's a Tower moment. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. This might be over a deal regarding land or property or a house. Again, division of assets is what I'm getting. I always say with the Tower, it feels like a shitstorm, but ultimately it is a divine blessing. And I know that's hard to hear at the time, right? But it's to get you to where you're supposed to be, because when you're in the Tower, you're dancing with the devil in the dark. You can't see or think clearly when you're in the Tower, so it has to come down to illuminate you to what's actually out there. Some of you may be fighting to hold on to a job. And again, only if you're ready to hear this, but you're watching a tarot reading. In time, you will come to see that fighting tooth and nail to hold on to that job, you might be making it more difficult for yourself than it's like let go and let God. Like have faith that the universe is trying to steer you in a new direction that will make you so much happier, that will give you more benefits, that will give you more vacation time, that will pay you more. Do you understand what I mean? There's a denying or a refusal to accept the fact that something is ending. You're fighting with it. You don't want it to end. And there's the star. There's the healing that's coming in. Some of you are going to buy a giant jacuzzi or a hot tub or a pool. Damn, Sagittarius. That looks good. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of you, if you're not already doing this, though, I think a lot of you have been smart and started to save your money in better ways or ways you haven't before. Know that the idea of like save your pennies for a rainy day, something about this ending, I know this doesn't totally make logical sense, but it'll make sense to some of you. This ending, especially if it is a job, which I know like common sense says, oh, save your money, right? Something about you're going to celebrate the ending of this job that you probably didn't like. It felt like a lot of work that was not very rewarding. Something about that ends and you end up putting a lot of the money that you saved into something you've always wanted. It's like, again, rather than fighting it, it's like you choose to celebrate the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new. And a lot of you like buy property around a lake, around water, or again, something about like a fancy bathtub or a jacuzzi. I don't know why that's coming in. It's just confirmation for some of you. Anyway, I love that the tower is followed by the star because it shows this is all in order. This is what was meant to be. So I know this is scary and kind of weird. Don't question it. It's divinely guided. It's to realign you to your North Star. Yeah, a lot of you are going through a divorce or you're going to be single. And this doesn't come out of nowhere, guys, right? Like, you would probably anticipate this. It's not just like, oh, my person has to break up with me, right? But you got the single ladies card. So single lady, single man, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's living your best life, and yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I hate to say splurging or blowing your money, and I'm not necessarily advising you to do that, but you buy something for yourself that's it makes you feel good. It raises your vibration to be like, I've broken my back to make all this money, and you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. I have one life to live. I'm not going to keep it all in the bank and never spend it. It's like, I don't want to say you do something over the top crazy, but yeah, there's like a luxury item that's a little bit like lavish or whatever, and it could be buying a property, again, growing grapes. Some of you are going to work at a vineyard, or again, something about a bartender, or spending a lot of time growing crops, whether that's in your garden or planting trees or something of the sort. Being in nature is going to be very healing and very pleasing for you, Sagittarius. Also, you guys should join some sort of exercise club or exercise group or exercise team. You might be doing, what is that? Synchronized swimming, you know, any age group, whether you're, you know, a little old granny or whatever, right? Synchronized swimming, it would be good for your body. For a lot of you, though, a competitive sport like basketball or hockey or something where you get those endorphins out, that fire energy, right? If you're able to release it, that would be quite good for you. And it would be an excellent opportunity to network, especially if you are out of a job or looking for a job. Joining some sort of sports team or club or intramural, whatever, there would be someone there who could probably hook you up with a job. Or allow you to stay at their place too, if you're kind of, again, like looking for a roommate or looking for, I hate to say shelter, that sounds desperate, but like looking for a place where you can, kick back your feet for a bit. It seems like there's a very good friendship or partnership that would allow you to, like, I actually heard unpack your mind, like settle in, take a load off. Yeah, that's going to be helpful for some of you. Some of you are considering going back to school to get some sort of degree, especially in philosophy. Also in anything involving science, like science teachers and professors, any field involving science, and flight, travel, aeronautics, and specifically studying birds. Some of you just bought a book on, is it ornithology? Is that the right word? I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but you're like birding. You're going out with binoculars and looking at birds and owls and all that. And I don't know why, maybe you're a veterinarian, maybe you're just interested, but I mean, that makes sense, flight, right? Travel, Sagittarius, so keep going, pursue that. Some of you are going to be veterinarians or, something about like medical tools. So medical doctors or even archivists, that's not the word, archaeologists, digging in the earth and using like fine tools. I'm seeing like, this sounds creepy, but I don't mean it, but like bones in the ground. I think it has to do with like, kind of like dinosaur museum type. Oh, this is what it used to look like. And so maybe you're a teacher, something about museums. History, animals, the earth. Especially underwater exploration. Sagittarius, only you. This feels like a little kid, like I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do that. Go for it, why not? Especially with dogs, working with dogs and animals. A lot of you are animal healers. You can speak to the animals. You're like Dr. Doolittle. Also, something about underwater exploration. Some of you may be going on a vacation where you go scuba diving for the first time and you absolutely fall in love with it. Some of you are mourning the loss of a very important figure in your life. It could be a parental figure, like maternal, paternal. It could be a school professor that recently passed away and you're going to go pay your respects. It may involve travel. You may have to go travel, and I never predict death on my channel, just to be clear, like you would know if this was your message already. I just don't predict messages like that, but yeah, going on some sort of trip, it feels almost like a pilgrimage because there's something very important that awaits you at the end. This feels like I'm metaphorically getting like the passing of a baton, and that's again in metaphor, but it's like whatever this, for a lot of you, it's a professor who passed away. they were a pivotal person or instrumental person in your life, and it's almost like they passed their gifts on to you. And symbolically, it's almost like you're being asked to step up to the plate and to start or to begin where they left off. Does that make sense? It's a very beautiful message. For many of you, it has to do with a Pisces. But yeah, this is like a career that you could potentially go into. And it's also very spiritual. There's like for a lot of you, it does feel like a very divine masculine figure watches over you. It could literally be your father, but more, yeah, it feels like like an angel guide, like a very friendly spiritual presence that's trying to guide you in the right direction to pursue your dreams, to not settle, and to not mourn life, but to celebrate it. That's especially important for my Sagittarians, especially if you are struggling with some personal stuff right now, especially like depression. Obviously seek help. That's always my message for that. But yeah, there's a reason to get back to your core being, which is about celebrating life and not mourning it. Again, that feels like almost like going to put flowers at a grave or attend like a service, a funeral, something like that. Again, don't predict that, right? I'm not predicting that. I don't do that on my channel, so not to scare any of you. All right, let's talk about money. I'm going to switch decks. I'm trying to get you money cards, but I'll be honest, those money readings or money messages haven't been coming out a lot this time around. So it kind of makes sense in Libra season, which is all about partnership, whether it's business partnership or friendship or love partnership. That's sort of what our focus is being pulled towards during Libra season. You know, it's during those earth sign energies, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's when we focus on our money, right? So anyway. Yeah, focus on the relationships with the people you love. Money for Sagittarius. Yeah, being by or around water is going to be very important for you. Properties in or around water, by lakefront property, oceanside property. Maybe you're buying a residence there. Maybe you own a hotel. Maybe you're, whatever it is. Something about that would suit you very well. Some of you are going to have your own garden, or you have like a green thumb. Being outdoors in nature, digging your hands in the earth. There's that Ace of Pentacles. All right, we'll take it. Some of you are going to start or have a startup business with your spouse, with your romantic couple, especially a Scorpio. There's so many avenues you could take this startup or this business. You're a little bit overwhelmed, but don't be afraid to really sit and think on the details. Again, it's sort of like glass half full. Rather than being overwhelmed by the options, there's a need to be like, oh my God, there's so many options. Like, have fun with it, you know? Like, buy a whiteboard and scribble all over it and decide what's more important to you. Prioritize what you want to get into first. It feels like you're a little overwhelmed or bombarded by the details, but the thing is, it's avenues of money. You have many, and I can see this here with all the careers I've been sprouting out. You have many avenues to make money. For some of you, it's in theater and acting. It would require travel, and you may have to move. I just heard move from the hotel, do you run like a family business in a hotel or something? Anyway, you may have to move away from someone that you love tremendously. And I mean, it's a repeat message of what we already said in your love reading. You may have to move away from someone you love to pursue your ultimate goal, but that doesn't mean you can't, what is the word? Revisit them later. Especially your fire sign, your other Sagittarius, your Aries, or your Leo. Yeah, actually, some of you are meant to be on stage, to be performers, to be musicians, actors, actresses, comedians. Something that brings lightness and joy to people's lives. Something that accentuates that streak of humor that you have in you. Sharing your humor and your lightheartedness with the world. Why are you afraid to do that? Something about you don't like being vulnerable, Sagittarius? Do it. There's money to be made in expressing your feelings. Open up the floodgates, let out the happy tears, or the emotional tears. Yeah, some of you are contemplating leaving your person to go chase your dreams. The right person will support you, Sagittarius. The right person will want to come with you, or the right person will say, all right, babe, go do it, and then, check back in 2 years. Maybe we can restart this thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, the right person would not want you to sacrifice all your dreams for them. I hate to say common sense, because that sounds like I'm, condescending, but I don't mean it that way. It's just like, of course you should chase your dreams, Sagittarius. Why wouldn't you? YOLO. Yeah, there's money to be made. Some of you are going to meet a male earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or you're going to have a new boss, and it has to do with the entertainment industry, show business, filmmakers. Again, like all those kind of glitzy, glamoury type stuff. There's money there. Queen of Wands and King of Pentacles, that could be a romantic couple, but more than likely that's a business partnership. And I'm assuming because you're a fire sign, whether you're male or female, you're being presented as the Queen of Wands. So possibly a collaboration. I do want to say with a male earth sign, sometimes the gender is given to me very specifically. So yeah, that's what you're moving towards. So it's like you may have to sacrifice a little bit to get a whole lot at the other end. And it's earth energy, guys, right? So this isn't going to happen overnight. It's probably not going to be a Cinderella story. But but with earth energy, though, it is, in a sense, almost like a surefire guarantee. And I hate to say that on my tarot channel, but kind of. Earth is practical. Earth is steady. Earth is reliable. It will come into fruition. You may have to give it a little more water, give it a little more sunlight. But these crops will grow in time, so I like that a lot. Some of you are very mystical. You're going to get into careers regarding spirituality. Something you may have it like a crystal ball, or you may work with crystals, crystal energy, or crystal jewelry, bracelets, something like that. And shoe wear, sandals, so accessories, clothing, things that people wear, but specifically spiritual garb, or like flower crowns used in ceremonies. Maybe it's for, weddings or something like that, but spiritual, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what that means, but like spiritual clothing. Does that make sense to any of you? Spiritual accessories. Some of you have your own little like occultist spiritual shop. Or you're waiting on communication about that. You may be waiting to take over the space or sign the contract or sign the document. Is my deck upside down? Kind of. I think you will get word about that. Some of you are going to open your own bakery, or I don't know why that's coming through. Your own little shop. There's positive communication about your own little shop. But yeah, you're getting like the silent treatment right now. Or not the silent treatment, but it's like the messaging that you've sent back and forth with whoever, like the landlord, the person who owns the building, whatever. It's coming, but it's slow. Yeah, like there will be a victory there. It's like they're trying to tie up loose ends in their own life, so don't take it as a defeat. Like it's going to happen. It's going to come into fruition. And some of you, you're meant to travel the world. Some of you are going to go to Hawaii. But yeah, world travel would suit you. Yeah, literally. Look at these cards. Go the untraditional route. That in itself for you, Sagittarius, is the traditional. The untraditional is the traditional for you. So why are you fighting it? Explore your passions. Explore your dreams. Go on a vacation. Give yourself a break. Some mental rest would do you very well. You might just meet an Aquarius that you hit it off with, whether it's business partnership or romantic partnership. And yeah, okay, there's something about the Aquarius of the past. You're finally going to put it to rest. You're going to stop carrying around resentment and grudges. And this could be a business partnership as well as romantic, right? There's going to be a small amount of communication that restores your faith in love, in humanity. And I know that sounds very extreme, but it's something that was like dimming your light. You were still holding on to something or someone that really hurt you. It felt like they turned their back on you. They were very cold to you. I do think that person reaches back out to you to make amends, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a reunion of lovers. It's just like, hey, I fucked up and I'm sorry. And you're like, okay, apology accepted. Something about that means the world to you. And you're probably not going to show face. You're probably not going to say, oh my God, I've been waiting to hear from you. But you kind of have, and it offers you peace of mind. So that's really important, Sagittarius. That's what it does for you. It's not, let's open the door back up and hop into bed together. It's not that. It's like, you got closure with the world. You get closure on something you thought you would never get closure on, and you do, and it sets you off on the path that you were always meant to go down. So, all right, Sagittarius, that's what I got for you. I hope that was helpful. We got some wacky messages, but overall very positive. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you've made it this far, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment, share with a friend. I would certainly appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. Sending you guys all my love, all the best. Have a fantastic October, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, Sag.